And I'm going to talk about how social media actually has been great for women's body. Now the summer series is over, we're going to start a video essay series. So essentially video essays are just me talking about pop culture topics just generally as they come up, as they're trending, as they come up to my head. So now we hear a lot about how social media has distorted how people feel about themselves, and we have people chasing an aesthetic that's not natural to them and getting things like plastic surgery to conform and comport what people think is desirable based on social media standards. However, here's another side, an unpopular opinion. Now, before the advent of social media, in traditional Western media, the ideal body size have always been thin. So in runways, magazines, and TV and television, those who got the biggest roles, those who got the roles where they were starring and the opposite love interests were always very thin. Now, that has been the standard, particularly in the non-POC, so non-black and brown communities, which has been harmful, contributed to things like anorexia and bulimia. However, with the advent of reality TV shows, and in particular the Kardashians, who glamorized and popularized their ample bosoms, their curvy features, you saw people running to social media with those features saying, hey, if they're desirable, I should be too. And thus we have the advocate of people just wanting larger derrieres and actually ample bosoms being very popular. Now, what that means for you, if you have lived in a community where your size, your curvy nature has been something where it's difficult for you to find clothes, you find that the guys that are around you don't really like your body type, you go to social media and you see people who have bodies like yours being celebrated. You go in the comment section and you see all these people ogling over them and just fawning over their bodies, and you're like, wow, that's something I didn't know exists. Now, we shouldn't be, as women, competing for the male gaze, but it is what it is. And to the extent that social media is talked about a lot in terms of its damage to women's self-esteem and its damages to young body images, and also you have the cyberbullying and body shaming and things like that that come with social media. It's usually in the forefront of discussions regarding social media's impact in pop culture. But the flip side, or the other side, or not talked about side, is the fact that it actually has and can give women positive body images and positive feelings of self-worth about themselves. There's a famous example of this, which is not necessarily popular, of the television show Euphoria. In that show, there's a young character who finds herself strapped into this like underworld of people who appreciate her body size, and the next day she comes to school just dripping in like a sort of like aesthetic, sort of like edgy, that's not like, you know, what she is, but she comes out of her shell and becomes like really, you know, confident. Now, I'm not saying little kids should go out and sexualize themselves because of this. Nonetheless, the confidence, I'm really just talking about the confidence that came from her realizing like, wow, people love me as I am. Here I am hating my body, and there's people who actually appreciate it. So I know it's an unpopular opinion. So another perspective you don't get. So anyway, so this is my video essay. If you want to talk about it below, if you want to discuss it about how action, let's discuss below. Talk to you soon.